Hi everyone, Sarah with Multifarious Nature, owner and creator. I'm gonna start off by apologizing in advance if you hear a lot of background noise. The dishwasher going, and my husband's working on my car, so got a lot of stuff going on today, but I did want to make sure and get this update in for you guys. So welcome to the podcast. This is your first time. Thank you for joining me. If you're coming back, thank you for joining me again to see what's new and exciting here with Multifarious Nature. I believe this is podcast number 7, and I'm going to start with the shop update. So I have some new progress keepers, and some of these I just have a couple of. Again, they are upcycled from deconstructed jewelry, so I only have a few of each one and I cannot reproduce them. This is one of them. It's a little copper beaded or copper colored bead. It's metal. So I have just a couple of those. And I have another, this other one is from the similar jewelry that I took apart. So this is you'll be able to see it better in the pictures as well, but it is a wire, like metal wired bead that's round. It's really cool. I have just a few of these, so once they're gone, they're gone, but it is again kind of a copper colored. So just a couple of those. So here's another fun one. These are, and I apologize for the lighting here. I am loving the sun and I want to get the light for the yarn, but it is a little bit bright. So, but I have these little owls. They're a little yellow and like teal green little owl, and some wooden beads on there. So these are all little progress keepers. And here's another one. And they all have the lobster clasp that I usually have on them. And this one, I'm probably going to butcher this. It's amazonite. I think that's how you say it. It's a green stone that's oval. And a little green multicolored glass bead on the bottom. And again, I'm going to have pictures of these. This is more just so you can see it size-wise and everything, but so that's another little progress keeper. So I have 4 new progress keepers in the shop. So that's exciting. And I have yarn. All of these colors you have seen before. So none of them are brand new colors, but I'm getting my stock up. So for those of you who have been waiting to do like sweaters and you want to use one of these colors, or you just want more yardage, I now have more for you. So the first one is pumpkin. So that's that beautiful burnt orange color. So that is pumpkin. And you can see there's lighter spots, darker spots. It is definitely a tonal. And just this great orange, deep orange. This is on that alpaca 20-60-20 blend. So it's 20% super fine alpaca, and then superwash, 60% superwash merino and 20% nylon. And that's at 437 yards for 100 grams. And I have 2 skeins of that in the shop. The next one is Multifarious Nature. I love this color so much. It's variegated. It has that deep red in there, some purple, deep green, and like a navy as well. So I now have a sweater's quantity of this yarn in the shop. So if you do want to get it for a sweater, if you're feeling a little wild and you want some color in a sweater, this I now have enough of. So this is the BFL silk sock. So that's the blue-faced Lancaster, gosh, I can't talk, and silk blend. So it's 55% BFL and 45% silk at 438 yards for 100 grams. So I now have enough in the shop that you could make a sweater if you wanted to. I also have now a sweater's quantity of Stormy Skies in the shop. Stormy Skies is that 50/50 superwash merino silk blend, and again that's 437 yards for 100 grams, and it's that it's a gray, a warm gray though, because it's gray. I apologize, boy, that sun is so nice and bright. Goodness, it has the brown in there. There's like a little bit of brown. There's some blue throughout. This is another variegated yarn, but a very subtle variegation. This is just a really unique gray because it's gray, so it's kind of a cool gray, but because of the warm brown in there, it gets a little bit, it reads a little on the warmer side. So this one's pretty flexible with what colors you can mix it with. But I now have a sweater's quantity of this, so if you were holding out to make a sweater with this, I now have enough that you could make it right away and you don't have to wait for it to be dyed up. So, and that's Stormy Skies. All right, and I wanted to talk a little bit about something new that I have in the shop. So there's something called a mystery mini skein. You may have noticed it if you've gone on the website, and you're probably wondering, okay, what is that? So it is a complete mystery as to what you're going to get. It could vary from 10 grams of yarn to 20 grams of yarn. So you don't really know which one you're going to get. It also could vary the yardage based on that and the fiber content. So you may end up with something that is a more rustic, Peruvian wool or a silk blend. There's a lot of, and the coloring. All the colors are different. So many of these are one of a kind. So in other words, I was messing with color to see what would end up and what would happen if I mix certain colors together. So a lot of these are one of a kind. I will not reproduce them, and some you may recognize as other colors that are currently in the shop. So for example, I'm just going to kind of give you a little sneak peek. If you're someone who doesn't want to see anything, and if you're thinking, oh, the mystery mini skein, I want it to be a complete mystery, you may want to look away from this for a bit, and I'll try not to give too much detail to ruin the fun for you. But if you do want to have a little bit of a sneak peek because you're just curious, then I'm going to give you that little bit of a preview. So for example, does this look familiar? It's Oceans Deep. So I have that in my little mini skein here. And this is a 10 gram mini skein. And I believe it's a silk blend. Most of the minis that I have are either the Peruvian wool or like a silk blend of some kind, and merino. So that's most of what I currently have in minis. So it's probably gonna be one of those bases. So I'm sorry if I kind of ruined that surprise for you. But yeah, but this is a fun color. And I'm going to try not to describe this in case someone just decided to close their eyes. Sorry if I ruined one for you. Oh gosh, I'm terrible at this. So here's another surprise. And this one. And for you wild children out there, there's this one. This may also look familiar. This is really getting blown out. Sorry. Ugh, the sun. It's brutal, but I love it. And this one. This is really reading correctly color-wise, but. And this one. So that's just kind of a fun little sneak peek at some of the colors that are mystery mini skeins. I have many, many more. Just to give you a preview. Oh, that was a really quick preview. So I didn't want to give away too much, but the mystery mini skeins are gonna all be different. I may have like one or two of the same color because I was messing around trying to get that dye batch correct for when I did the larger full-size skeins. Wow, I'll say that 5 times fast. Full-size skeins. So some of them may be very similar and some are just completely different and very unique. So that's what the mystery mini skeins all about. So if you order one of those, you will just get one of those I'll pick for you randomly, and you're gonna get a little mystery in your package. So that's what that's all about. So now for that shop date update is done. I'm gonna go over some projects and I'm really excited. You guys, my work's in progress. I have worked on every single thing. You'd be so proud, because I felt so bad last week when I was talking about my sweater, how I had not worked on it at all. My Pearl Soho sweater, that raglan, I felt really sad about that. I was like, gosh, you know, it's getting cooler and I really want the sweater to be completed in the semi-near future. So I worked on it. So this is that Pearl Soho raglan in the Expression Fiber Arts yarn. Maybe if I have to back up here, I don't know. But I've gotten so much further. I am definitely like mid-row here, so oh well. But look at this. I attached the sleeves, guys. I've got the sleeves attached. I'm so excited. So I'm on the raglan decreases. Yeah, raglan decreases. So I'm so excited about that. And you'll see I've got my little row counter, my analog row counter. So a fun tip for you, if you want to purchase this little analog row counter, the little progress keeper that comes with it, until you get to 10 rows, or I should say 11 rows, you really do not need this progress keeper until that point comes. So I just attached it to the little dangly bit that's at the very bottom. I just hooked it into that, so that way it's with me at all times, so I can keep track of it, and as I'm knitting along I can easily grab that and then move it. So I have that it's multiple uses. I have it as a row counter. I have it as a stitch marker to where the decrease occurs for the raglan. So it has multiple uses, but I'm super excited, guys, because now I have the sleeves attached. So I actually got a lot of knitting done on this. I'm trying to think where on earth here it is. There is my progress keeper. So I was here last week and I've got all this done, so a couple inches in the round for the body, and then I got the sleeves attached. So I feel like that was a lot. I got a lot done on that. So I'm very excited, very, very excited. And that's with that Expression Fiber Arts yarn again. Ugh, I love her yarn. So soft and beautiful. So, and that was my first hand-dyed, like indie dyed yarn that I've ever purchased, was the Expression Fiber Arts. So that's a super excited project for me. And I got a bunch more done on the Deandra shawl as well. So this is that Deandra shawl by Sabine Frick. Again, I'm sorry, Sabine, if I said your name wrong. Gosh darn it. I'm trying so hard, but I may have totally screwed it up. So look at the progress, guys. I can't even show you the full progress because it's in the round. And it's on a 40-inch circular. I think, no, 50-inch circular. So you can see, wow, that's in the round, guys. So this is half the length of this, it's Chiagu circulars. So it's half the length of that. Good grief. But so this is where I was last week. I had that there. So again, because I was going across the top of the shawl, or bottom, I guess it's the bottom, the length, doing these rhombuses. It's not really a good way of showing the progression. However, I am almost done with the rhombuses. So this is, let's see, I'm trying to think exactly where I left off last. Oh yeah, got them all done. I did, I got all the rhombuses done. So I'm actually just going across the bottom here. I haven't worked on this in 2 days. I was working on something else I'm going to show you. But yeah, I'm going across the top now, just all the way across. So I'm done with the rhombus. You can see I have that striping of the Ocean's Deep and the white pine. It's kind of creating that really cool striping effect. So I've got that going all the way down. Sorry about the noise, guys. But you can see that really cool striping that's going on there. And I'm so excited. So I was gonna put the white pine on the end, the last two, but I'm so pumped because I actually ended up having enough Ocean's Deep to do the 2 rhombus on the end here and then the 2 rhombus on the other end. So guess what? It's actually a symmetrical shawl. I can't believe it. That worked out so well. And I actually still have a little bit of my, it's unfurling. I actually have a little bit of my Ocean's Deep left. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I'm using that right now and I'm going across the entire bottom, that next portion after the rhombus. It's just going across that whole thing. So it'll have a straight line. That'll be the Ocean's Deep as a transition, and then it will become the white pine, and I'll do all that border area. There's actually quite a bit border area, a couple inches I think, so I'm almost to that part I think where it's gonna start getting into that area. So I'm really excited. I got a bunch done. I got a bunch done on that. I got a bunch done on my sweater, Pro Soho. So, and if that wasn't enough, I started the slipper socks. The bees, I think bees, yeah, bees slippers. So these are the ones that I'm using the yarn for my mom. And at some point I'm going to show you super cool tool that my husband bought for me. So I have a, it is a ball winder, which, okay, I don't know about you, but if you have to hand wind balls of yarn, it takes hours, because I like fingering weight yarn, and a lot of them, or lace weight yarn, are like 400, almost 500 yards plus. So with lace weight yarn, gosh, usually it's like 800 yards for 100 grams. So it took me like almost 3 to 4 hours to wind a lace weight ball of yarn once. So I was just thinking, my goodness, I'm using so much time winding this yarn. So he bought me a ball winder and a Swift. So I'm so excited. I'll probably do a video about that sometime. If you're interested in that, you know, please let me know. I'm probably gonna do that. Just do a video on how it works and which Swift I have and the ball winder. He got me a large ball winder so I can do, I mean, huge ball cakes, I guess, the cakes, huge cakes of yarn. So these are wound up with that ball winder. So they're little mini cakes because, like I said, the yarn, each skein was under 100 grams. This was about 100 grams, just under 100 grams in the yellow. And what I did is I have a scale that I use for weighing things like the dye. And I can adjust what unit. And so I have it on grams and I just weighed it. And it was around like 96 grams, I think, for this yellow. And so what I did is I weighed it, divided that in half, and then I left it on the scale, and I attached part of it to the ball winder. This is after it was already in a ball. Attached it to the ball winder and unwound it into a separate ball, so I have about equal parts of the yarn because I'm going to make 2 slippers, right? 1 for each foot. And the only reason I did this is because I knew the pattern is for like a solid. It doesn't specifically tell you how to do anything with the colors, and I don't want like one to be hugely yellow and then the other to have just a touch of yellow because oops, I ran out. I didn't really want that, so I evenly distributed these. So I've got the yellow, I've got the beautiful, I want to call this magenta, beautiful magenta color, and then this, it's almost like a super, super deep cranberry color actually. And then I have a little less of this one. And the reason why I have less is because I've actually started working on them. I'm so excited. So I'm mid-row on this too. Apparently I have a problem. I stopped mid-row. But I actually did that on purpose because I've discovered now looking at this pattern, like actually looking at it before I'm working on it, that you do the sections of the foot. So this is going to be an interesting slipper. I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. So I really don't have a lot of this kind of deep cranberry color. So that is going to be, this is the sole of the slipper is what I'm currently working on. I'm doing the size medium. I'm like an 8.5 shoe size, and the medium is I think like a 7 to a 9 is kind of what they put it at. So I decided to do the medium. So this is the little like sole of the slipper, and that's what I'm at right now. But the reason why I stopped mid-row, if you notice, there's a row marker, not a progress keeper, but a row marker or stitch marker, what are we gonna call it, on each side, because there's the beginning of the round and then there is the middle of the round. You're supposed to mark both so that you can tell where you're at. For the there's some increases going on right now. So if I was to stop on the end, then I'd have to remember, which I don't know about you, but I don't want to try to remember, oh, I have a stitch marker in the bottom of my bag that I have to put on before I do another row. Because I have done it in the past, I will probably do it again. If I do that, I will probably forget to put it on, and then I go, oh shoot. Now granted, I am working in the round, and I'm only doing this row and then this row, so I'm never just moving in a circle like the sweater. Like a sweater takes up the entire circular needle, so you do need some type of marcation because it just keeps going, and you will definitely lose track of your count if you don't have some type of stitch marker. For this, I am just going across, and when I end here, there's still some of this here, and then I just push it to the side again and then rotate it. I'm doing the magic loop method. If you're not familiar with that, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there about it. That's how I learned. Expression Fiber Arts actually has a really good one, so there you go. But there really isn't too much of a need actually for this mid marker, but the pattern called for it, so I'm trying to do what the pattern said. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with these slippers yet. I'm starting with this cranberry color. So far, I'm pretty sure I'm only going to have enough for the sole of the foot, so the bottom of my slipper is going to be red, or like a cranberry color. And then I'm going to do something with this. I think what I'm going to do, I think I am going to do the toe, like the top, because this is the sole, and then it's going to come up and over. I think I'm going to do this color and then the yellow. So really the bottom's going to be the cranberry color, the cranberry, and then it'll be like the toe portion of your sock will be this magenta, and then the yellow. But I don't know, I might change my mind, because the way it goes is it transitions from, I'm looking at the pattern right now, it transitions from the sole to the top of the foot, and then instep to the top of the foot, and then the cuff. So I think think I am going to do it the way I just mentioned. That I'm going to kind of do that magenta color on the foot and then go into the yellow. I have no idea. These are fun slipper socks. So I really don't necessarily care what they look like. They're only going to be things that I wear in the house because they're way too thick to wear in shoes. These are just to keep my feet warm in the winter. I just think they're super fun. And I'm really excited to use this yarn that my mom gifted to me. It's just really super special. So I wanted to do something special with them. So she understands coziness and slipper socks. So I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to do. So yeah, I got a lot done. A lot done on my works in progress. No finished objects, but lots of works in progress and lots of progress on those. And then yarn dyed up and progress keepers in the shop. So yeah, if you guys, again, if you like any of these colorways and you want them on a different base, like one of the other bases that I talked about, just let me know and I can definitely do that for you. I try to usually dye on the weekends just because I have a little bit more time to do that. So, you know, Dan did a little he was in the background. He did a cameo. But yeah, if you guys do want any of these colors in a different base, or if there's a color that you're interested in, please let me know because I am trying to expand the colors, just things that I like. And if there's something that you like, you know, that's important to me. I do want that. So let me know and keep me posted. And so I kind of want to ask you guys a question like with each video. I'm going to try to do that. So now that it's fall and it's super crispy outside, it's getting chilly. Today is actually really warm though. I think we're almost in the 70s, which is awesome. It's like a really warm autumn day, but I mean, all the trees are changing colors still, but it's really warm where it had been in the 50s the prior week. So this is a nice little break. But yeah, like what's one of your favorite things to do in autumn and fall? I would just love to hear it. I know for myself, I love apple picking. Right now, I don't think many of the orchards are allowing apple picking. Maybe some are now, which if they are, and you know about that and you're in the Michigan area, like Southwest Michigan, please let me know. Oh my gosh, my family, every year we go apple picking. That's just a tradition we have. And we were thinking we probably can't do that this year because of all the regulations going on right now. So if you do know of one, please let me know because I love doing that. It's just so much fun. And then the other thing I love to do is go for hikes with our dogs and look at all the fall colors. It's just so beautiful. And we did that just the other day. So that was awesome because it was so nice and warm outside. So let me know, like, what's one of your favorite traditions in autumn and fall? What do you love to do? And I'd love to hear it. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I hope you are creating and staying happy and healthy. Take care. Bye.